Hey guys, it's Stacy here, and as you can see over there on the arm of the chair, I have started my temperature blanket for 2018. This is the first year I've done a temperature blanket, and I chose to do it with granny squares, but that will be on a different video as to why I chose granny squares over doing a row for each day. Here's one of the granny squares up close. It's about 2.5 inches. And today's video though is going to be on my notebook that I've created. I made a notebook for the temperature blanket for all the information, so that way I don't have to do a square each day. What I can do is write down what I'm going to do each day, and then I can sit for a couple of hours and do like a week's worth of granny squares or 2 weeks worth of granny squares in a couple of hours. And that way I'm not working on it every single day and having to make time for it every single day. So here are my yarns, and I have used all of the same brand and kind, just different colors. So this is Loops and Threads, which is through Michaels Impeccable yarn. So here in my notebook, I have made the chart for what each temperature represents, what color each represents, as well as down at the bottom you can see that I have gray for the beginning and the end of each month. So today was an average temperature of 41 degrees, and I take the average between the high and the low for my area for the day. So today is 41 degrees average, which you can see is the Royal. So then I come over here into my Crayola box, and this is the color I'm using for Royal. Today is January 23rd, so I'm just going to color that for January 23rd. And this way I can go through, like if I look at this on Thursday and I'm like, oh man, I forgot to do yesterday, I can put in yesterday's temperature. So that way I make sure that I don't skip a day. So the next page in my notebook here is a layout of what it's going to look like once it's completely done. I have done an 18 by 21 blanket, so I'm going to have 18 granny squares across and 21 long. And what I've been doing is, you can see my gray there, that's for the beginning of January, the beginning of the year. And then I have been doing my each day diagonally like that. So what it will end up looking like is I have my purples and blues, greens, yellows, and then here in the middle it's going to be the reds and the oranges and magenta, and then it's going to go back into the yellows and greens and the blues and the purples. So it's going to go kind of like that. And so since I'm going diagonally with my days, I didn't color in yesterday. So yesterday was teal. It was an average of, I don't remember what the average was yesterday, but I had wrote down on that other page that it was teal. And then today was the blue. Average of 41 degrees. Today. I think yesterday was average of 48 degrees. So this way, whenever I get to making my granny squares and I sit down and I do a number of granny squares all at once, I can see the order that they're going in. So from looking over at my blanket that I have already started, you can see that I have not done probably the whole last week of granny squares, so I need to get on that, don't I? So what I have already done is this purple, purple, teal, green, teal. So I haven't done any of these yet, so I'll be working on that soon. But that is my temperature blanket notebook. So that way you can kind of keep track of what you're doing. So that way also you don't have to look back on other days, try to figure out what color yesterday was and make your square because you ran out of time in the day. So this way you can just look in your notebook, see what you need to do, which ones you need to stitch, and go for it.